Hi, I'm Zina Hall, and welcome again to Oakland Is. Today I'm joined with Director of Tomorrow's Answer.
That's right.
And you will also introduce the program, I Hope.
The I Hopes program, you know,
Yes,
the information, health, outreach and program and education services.
Okay.
It's a new program, but we hope to be very, very successful.
Okay. Well, Monsa Nitoto.
Nitoto.
Say that again.
One knee and two big toes.
Okay, all right. See, now you'll be embedded in my memory. Thank you so much for being with us today. You are a recipient, a survivor, and an activist.
Yes.
Speak to that.
Well, first of all, I'm an activist that helped start African Liberation Day here. I had a group called the Family Nitoto. We did African dance in all the prisons in the state and most of the universities, from 1972 to 1980. And African Liberation Day was a major program put on at the park, out in Arroyo Park, and in West Oakland and other places. So I did that for years. And then I started doing some activism in West Oakland. We built a major program, the Alliance for West Oakland Development, to help build some buildings. And matter of fact, we're completing those now. Okay. However, during that time, I guess stress and salts and not enough exercise led me to the dialysis table, or I should say chair. And so I ended up on the dialysis machine, and as a result, I'm now fighting to help dialysis patients get the same transplants that I have just gone through.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's extremely noble, and I know part of your agenda is to educate the community.
Certainly.
And it's a target community, correct?
Yes. We're trying to reach particularly African Americans and other minorities and poor people in general, but specifically minorities and black people in particular. We have a need for more donors, more people to be willing to offer a kidney, and I know that your background has some of that involved in it. I didn't want to deprive your privacy.
Do what you need to do.
And that's a noble thing, and I just want everybody to know, I know you feel like a misfit donating one of your kidneys, but you can live. In fact, she's educated me today that the kidney actually enlarges to capacitate your body to handle its normal activities with one kidney. So being able to come forward and donate a kidney to a person in your family, in particular as you did, or donate a kidney to somebody that you don't know, but you would be so helpful to me. I got a 12-year-old boy's kidney who died of asthma, unusual, but that's something in West Oakland we have a lot of asthma and fumes from the trucks and the ships and so forth. So this kid died from asthma, and they kept his body in state and allowed me to go on the 4th of July, the next day, and get a transplant. Okay. And I'm so thankful to the Lord, to his family, to him, and to all of the donors that are willing to come forward and help dialysis patients get a transplant.
I love that. So let's back this up a little bit. You actually were going through dialysis from 1999.
Yes.
Through 2006.
Right.
And you were on the transplant list, or what? Tell me.
Well, actually, that's what I'm speaking about education for. I didn't know about a transplant list when I was first in dialysis. I'm an activist. I study a lot, but I didn't know.
Nice.
It's something I didn't understand, and they don't do a lot of hard education in dialysis. They get you in there, and thank God for dialysis now. I don't want to put it down, but I'm just saying they don't have an education process or a counselor in the system that helps you orientate. So I didn't know about a list. In fact, my daughter, Jansa, who is one of my heroes, because she let me stay with her after I got my transplant in 2006, my daughter informed me, you need to get on all the lists, Dad. And so I started signing up for, UNO. I don't know exactly what that an acronym stands for, but it's a transplant list. And then there are matching lists now that you can get one person to donate a kidney, and they'll find another person that may not match you, but they'll find another person that it does match. And as a result, you can get their kidney and allow you to get a transplant.
I see.
So yeah, I've been on since '99, and 2006, I got my first transplant. And then on the 4th of July this year, the next day I got my transplant, the second one.
I see. So throughout that whole process, you didn't find out that there were other alternatives, or that there were creative ways to live, even if you had to remain on dialysis. You didn't know, because you didn't have that information,
Right.
that there was a way to maintain your body,
Right.
to have a more lively lifestyle.
Yes.
You didn't know all of those things, and that's part of what you're doing, right?
I want to share that with other dialysis patients. We have a program called I Hopes.
Yes.
You know, it's the information, health, outreach, and program and education services that we want to try to reach into the dialysis units, go back to all of them, especially the people that I know that sit across from me over the years, and they're there and not wanting to try, not wanting to exercise and walk and just get their bodies in shape, take all their medicines, get their checkups and so forth. So we have, what we've put together is a checkup list for dialysis patients. You know, we call it CUF-DIF, but it is a checkup list that I really learned from my wife, who was my monitor.
So that was a love checkup list.
Yes.
That's what I think it is. I think it was a love checklist. She wanted to make sure you were okay.
Right, her name is Tanya Williams, and she helped me tremendously. She was going to donate me a kidney, but they found a kidney. But I'm certainly wanting to educate people as much as I can by going to the dialysis unit. You know, you cannot push or pressure people. You have to get to know them, befriend them, and come into the centers over the period of time. We want to get some grants and have enough funds through the iHopes program to go into dialysis centers and meet people and help them out with their education and processing.
Okay, so I want you to, I don't want to gloss over that. I think it's really important what you're trying to do, because in preparing for the show, we were talking about when folks go into the treatments, it's just sort of a dead-end situation.
Right.
They don't take advantage of it.
Right.
And they go in, many may sleep, or many may just go through the process. Tell me about that.
When you go into dialysis, you get into a routine.
Okay.
You know, I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to dialysis and get my treatment started. And then I would sleep. Okay. You want to sleep for 4 hours. That's how long mine was according to your body weight.
Okay.
But some people have two.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I sleep for 4 hours if I can. When I wake up, then I'm ready to go. So I think it's nothing going on. But while you sleep, you don't know what's going on in the unit and so forth. So the idea is that if we can get people paying attention to their health, learning that there's more than one way to do dialysis. Okay. There's peritoneal, which uses a sac in your stomach membrane in the lining of your stomach to pump fluids in, and you pump them out. And you get a machine that you keep on your shelf there overnight, and you can wake up the next morning, get up, clean up, and go on about your business. Okay. The other one is hemodialysis, which is the same that you get in the dialysis unit. The dialysis unit uses hemo, and they put a shunt in your arm, which is raising a vein up to the top of your skin, and then sticking a needle in it every other day. You get a needle about an inch long that goes into your shunt, and that pumps your blood out. That becomes your urination, because most dialysis patients cannot go to the bathroom, stand up and use the bathroom. They have to get the machine to pump that out, the poisons out of their body every other day for them. You know, so yes, I want to break up the monotony of just going into dialysis, following the person in front of you, and not learning about transplants, not keeping your body in healthy condition so you can receive a transplant. You know, that's what's important, that they take their medicines, go get all of their annual immunization processes, the thing where they put the long thing up your
catheter?
No, that's for your arm. But I'm saying there is an annual rectal checkup that you need each year that you need to do so that you can make sure you have no cancers and nothing else growing. So you just need to be healthy and keep up with your meds and do some exercising. That's the problem. People don't want to walk, so we're going to try to do a walk. We're going to try to do a walk from Lake Merritt to West Oakland, you know, and we're going to try to get other people to donate funds so we can eventually get a ship. We used the Commodore line before and took Dr. Clyde Calderon from Howard University with us to explain to people about dialysis and transplant.
Prestigious man, yeah.
Yeah, he's a famous guy.
Yeah.
So we want to do that again next year, and we got to raise enough funds to make that available.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
You mentioned walking, and I just chuckled because it doesn't necessarily just have to do with those on dialysis. I think that's a universal challenge there. But anyway, I like that you mentioned the exercising and bringing these other resources to folks who are on dialysis to their attention and presenting them. Now, I want you to speak to the checklist. First of all, what does the acronym stand for?
The checklist. It is the what is it? I'm sorry. I just put it together. It's the COOF-DIF, the checkup, health, and dialysis inpatient card.
That's okay.
You
I
know,
see.
so it is that there's a list of things. You know, we want you to do exercises. We want you to take all your meds and put a list together of all the hospitals and all the doctors that you've seen so that you have that stuff readily available. Keep up with your meds and do all of your shots and take all your pills on a regular basis and make sure that you are checking up on the list and try to find a donor such as yourself that is within your own family or donors from the CPMC, the California Pacific Medical Center,
yes.
or the USC, San Francisco, the University of California Medical School over there that does transplant. Both are excellent places.
Right.
One of the problems in dialysis
is
people are afraid. People think that if they get somebody else's body part, they're going to mess up or cause them some problem. They don't want no complications. They would rather just keep going to dialysis for the rest of their lives, 20 years in fact. I have a friend named Clinton.
Yes.
I had to convince him to let his cousin give him a transplant. It took me 4 years. He finally got the transplant, and now the brother's doing fine. I just got to get him to exercise a little bit and help himself, even though you've gone through the transplant.
Well, it is a scary process, and I will speak to that. But it's actually a very rewarding and fulfilling process. Being a donor myself, I actually donated to my mother in 2009, and she went through her own process. She went through both the home dialysis that you mentioned, and her body it wasn't what we needed to do. It wasn't the right match for her. And she was number one. She was at the top of the list at California Pacific Medicine.
Which takes at least 5 or 6 years.
It was a 5-year wait. So at that time, we decided we had to look internally into our own family to figure out who, if anybody, is going to be a match. Well, it was a little more than we expected. There are 5 of us, and I'm the eldest. We went through all children, and I was the only match.
But you're a hero.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
I want that to be projected. All donors are heroes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But just going through the process and finding that even as being her children, only one of the 5 was a match. So it's important to be able to have donors identified initially, and like you said previously about the California driver's licenses. It's important to note that you may be a donor in case of an accident or something fatal. You know, you want to be able to give back.
There's a fear. Even with donors on the licenses, there's a fear that, in particular with African Americans and I'm sure other minorities, they think that if their name has on it attached to a donor, that when they go to the hospital, they're not going to get good treatment because people want you to pass away so they can get your organs and things.
Well, that was the myth that I had at first as well. But that was when I was a teenager. That was as a teenager. But now I see on the other side, hindsight is 20/20, right? It was important for me to be a donor. And we found out that it was almost a perfect match. The surgeon said, I can't believe it, before my mom even moved from surgery. Her body eliminated almost 2 liters while still in surgery.
My face, my color, I was when a gentleman named Jimmy Gotti that does Oakland is, yeah, he
the
saw me.
producer.
He didn't know who I was.
Wow.
He didn't recognize me. I was at the Passions rehearsal for getting ready for a fundraiser I was doing, and he didn't recognize me because my color had come back.
Yes.
And I mean, I was completely much darker than I am now. Now, did your mother?
Same characteristics.
Right, and her face lit up when she got the transplant.
That was the most rewarding moment.
Yes,
it really was. It was an awesome moment. And I think that you're starting the I Hope program.
Yes.
And putting out the cuff dip card
Right.
is important. Those resources are very, very important because my people perish for lack of knowledge, if you don't
Right.
mind me mentioning that.
Right.
We do need to make sure that the information is in their hands.
Right.
So that they can not just go to their appointments 3-4 times a week, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But while they're there, they can say, my numbers are a little better this time. What is my creatinine? What is this? What is that? And now I can go and look. You know, maybe my mom's, somebody on my mother's side or my father's side may be a match to me.
Yes.
Maybe they can extend my life. And wow, you never know. Maybe I'll be able to dance again.
That you know about creatinine. Now that to me is amazing because that's something that very few people know about creatinine within your kidney.
Yes.
You know, the creatinine level, if it's at 1 and 0.7 is excellent. But the creatinine level after some transplants is at 7, 6, 5, which is not very good. So if it's down to at least a 1.3 or 1 or 0.7 or something like that, that's excellent. So I mean, that's a very important point that I think people need to learn about.
Wonderful, wonderful. So how could our viewers tap into the I Hope program to help with your effort?
Well, we're downtown Oakland at 1433 Webster Street, 94612. So we're downtown Oakland, and we're always open to anybody coming in or sending us some information they would like to have us work with one of their dialysis friends or family members. We would love to get connected like that so that we can send people to, we have coaches, we have a couple of doctors working with us, and we want to get more, so we could help them we pass out these cuff dip cards, the inpatient dialysis cards to everybody. We just want them all to have them. We want to.
How do you get it to them? I'm sorry.
Well, we're going to have to go to the unit unless they write us and give us an address and a name. Then we can follow up, which is the better of the circumstances. That is, that we can send one of our coaches to go work with them. Of course, we have to get to know them. We're going to take some ice in there. And one thing you like in dialysis is plenty of ice.
Really?
You can't drink a lot of water.
Oh.
You cannot drink a lot of fluids. So you eat ice to satisfy your thirst and so forth. So we'll take them ice. We'll take them some candy, hard candy. They don't need no chocolates and stuff because they don't have the same organs to work with. The kidneys not working, so you can't digest those foods. So, but we will go into the centers, and those people that are willing to talk, we'll take time. We won't intrude, but there's generally an hour before you go in dialysis that you sit out in the lobby and wait. Okay. I know with your mother, she never really went to dialysis. Right. She was blessed to have a family working with her that'll help her do all of the services at home, peritoneal and hemodialysis. But most people don't have that luxury, I'm sad to say, and people don't come to visit you in dialysis. I had my wife coming in, 3-4 times a week. So people feel lonesome. They don't have no company, they don't have people, so we want to go in and talk to them. We want to go in and take time. And if they need to be rolled over to where they're going to get their treatment at, we will do that. We just want to look and see what's going on. If they allow, that's very important. If they allow, we will help them as much as we can.
I didn't realize a dialysis patient experienced that.
Oh God!
I didn't realize that.
Dialysis is a lonesome thing. It's not like you got a cancer or whatever. So it's something everybody thinks you're on dialysis, you're all right.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. It is that you need a lot of help, and you need people to make you pay attention to your own body and your own conditions. So that's what our hopes intends to do. The information health outreach program and education services intends to try to go in and mingle and mix with people as much as we can. But we would love them to write us at 1433 Webster Street, Oakland, 94612 downtown.
Got it.
We're right across the street from the old Caribbean.
Okay. Okay, can you also mention some of the fundraisers that you have coming up again?
Yes, we have 4 fundraisers. One is the walks. We're going to walk from Lake Merritt to West Oakland. Along the way, we're going to pass out cards to different businesses and let them know we're going to be doing these walks down their streets, particularly down 3rd Street to West Oakland.
Okay.
And then we want the businesses to donate $20 for the patients. And we're going to keep all these funds. We don't need no administrative dollars. I have my own resources, and so does most of my group. Okay. So we want to raise funds that way. We want to raise funds through putting on a fundraiser at the Farmley Park and at the Lois Park in San Francisco. Yes. We want to get the Commodore cruise ship line to do another cruise as we did before. And we want to put on the Bay Area West Oakland Healthy Neighborhood Festival. We did it out at Shoreline Park, and hopefully we'll be able to do it at our parking lot in West Oakland, the Mandela Village parking lot on 5th Street.
That would be nice.
Yes.
That'll be nice, and you'll be advertising for that, I'm sure.
Certainly. We've got to do a lot of advertising.
All right.
You know.
Okay. Now, you mentioned briefly about self-denial.
Oh. Most dialysis patients feel that they are not going to be able to do anything different, so they deny themselves a right to get a transplant. In fact, they don't even want you to talk to them about it most of the time.
Really?
They can always find somebody that had a problem, or somebody that had a mix-up in trying to get a transplant, or that person's right back in dialysis and got one 3 years ago. So that comes up again and again. But you know, that's not the practical reality of San Francisco Pacific Medical Center. Yeah. Is they have like 99% success, you know, at any rate.
I'm a witness.
All right.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. That's all right. The health rates of people getting transplants is excellent. You know, I don't know anybody that has, you know, died or had a problem, you know, not with kidneys now. I can't speak to heart and liver. Right. That's another world which I'm not really in. But, you know, transplants with kidneys is almost like, you know, picking up marbles or something nowadays, the way the doctors handle them. And they're getting to the point now that they can do it invasive without opening you up. They have to pull your ribs open now. But then they're developing equipment where they can use lasers and go inside and hardly have to open your ribs up. They can do the incision with a laser and pull your old kidneys to the side and put the new one in. By the way, most of the time, they don't remove the old kidney. So I got, I had 2. They gave me 2 more. So now I got about 5, 6 kidneys inside of me, but they're all able to hang out together, and I ain't got no problems. You know, I was so happy when I first got the transplant, and the first week I couldn't urinate because I hadn't urinated for 6 years. Yes. You know, so the 3rd, 4th day, I was able to go to the bathroom and successfully urinate. Wonderful. And man, you don't know the feelings like it's snowing, raining, and the sun is shining all at the same time.
Wow. And you didn't know which kidney was doing it, huh?
No. No, I did not.
I love it. I love it. So speak to finding elusive bone marrow as it relates to what we're discussing.
It is a problem with bone marrow for everybody. In this case, I can't speak to just blacks and minorities. Everybody has a problem with bone marrow. Nobody wants to have a spinal tap. Right. And that's how you get bone marrow. They have to go into your spine, and it's painful. Yeah. But it is a necessary thing, and our hopes is going to endeavor to find more people willing to make those kind of donations. They're very hard, but through advertisement and publicity, Give a Life, Save a Life is a program that Brother Guy turned me on to at the radio station, KPOO. Yeah. And so I'm going to try to get more and more publicity from them. I'm going to try to get on to KPFA and do as much as I can to publicize, get the word out, yes.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Well, I'm trying.
I think it's heroic. Everything that you're doing, I think it's really heroic.
Well, it's a lonesome task, and people that get transplants should give back. I've had 2, so I'm definitely going to try. I've been an activist. I can't claim that without trying to help some of the people that I was in dialysis with.
I love that.
You know, I left a lot of friends in the Army, didn't get back with them, but I'm going to get back with my dialysis partners that I know and try to help them as much as I can, you know. I'm a director in Tomorrow's Answers, and we're putting together this I Hope program, and we really intend to make it work as best we can.
I love it.
Yes.
You speak so passionately. You would think you were a healthcare professional. And I want to put that disclosure out there. You are not a healthcare professional. No. You are merely a recipient.
Right.
And an activist.
Exactly.
And you've been in the community, and now you're passionately pursuing this program, and I love it.
It's a calling that you got to do to help other people who do not get the educational requirements they need and do not, the European community gets transplants 3-4 times faster than we do, and yet we go in 5 times faster than they do in terms of going to dialysis because of porks and salt and stress, money problems and so forth. So we face a lot more trauma, and yet we get less education and health for our individuals, so they don't have to go on dialysis. We need more support.
Wow, wonderful. Well, Monsa, it's been wonderful chatting with you. It's been absolutely wonderful. And I think it was pre-planned, and we just didn't know about it because I was a donor.
Right.
You're a recipient.
Right.
And there was a lot in common there.
Yes,
and
right.
I don't believe that most of the viewers knew about this information because I didn't.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
And I think it's important. I think it's something that we should support because we don't know. You don't know until it happens.
Right.
Or it happens to someone close to you.
Can I shake your hand?
Because absolutely.
You are one of my heroes. When I found out you donated to your mother,
yes.
I think that's special. And you're special
so
for doing that. Really, really, really.
Well, I'll definitely, if you need any help with I Hope, please look me up.
I will.
Please do.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm Zina Hall, and you've been with us today at Oakland Is. Thank you so much for joining us, and until I see you again, take care.